Hello, and welcome back once again for Acquire English Live. This is episode 13. I'm here as always with Tuan. Tuan, how are you today?
Good, thanks.
Good. In today's episode, we will be covering could and using could for the future. But first, just a friendly reminder. Right now, there is a Black Friday sale on Udemy. So if you're not familiar with Black Friday, it's kind of a part of America. It started in America, but now it's kind of all over the world. But right now on Udemy, you can find our Acquire English speaking, listening, and pronunciation course. So for the beginners to go from A1 to A2 is on sale for a couple more days. So Tuan, do you have Black Friday in the UK now?
Now we do. Before it wasn't so popular, but yeah.
Yeah. So Black Friday started as kind of the day after Thanksgiving in America. So Thanksgiving is always on a Friday, or always on a Thursday. So then the day after Thanksgiving, it's a Friday. And we don't have to get into it, but the history of Black Friday is kind of interesting. It started out with American football, and there was always big fights after the football game, between rival football game. And for some reason now it's a big shopping day. But anyway, on our Udemy course, there is a Black Friday sale. Don't forget, we also have our course on Skillshare, very similar course. And as always, we have lots and lots of videos on Facebook and YouTube. All those, they will keep coming. So just yesterday, I posted one video, the difference between could and was able to. So if you haven't checked that one out, people have kind of been interested in that one quite a bit. It's got quite a few views already. But today we're talking about a different use of to in our conversation. So Tuan and I are talking about the weekend. So what do you usually do on weekends, Tuan?
Usually, actually work.
Yeah.
The weekend's a busy working day, but if I do have some time off, I play futsal.
Mm-hmm. Right. How about so that's your normal day off? You play futsal, or on weekends after work?
Weekends after work, on a Sunday or Saturday, play futsal. Also watch a lot of TV.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I usually work on Saturdays, but Sundays are kind of my my scheduled day off for the most part, where I spend time with my kids. My wife's a nurse, so she doesn't really have normal days off. She doesn't usually have weekends off. So often Sundays, it's just me and my two boys. And we go outside, play by the river near our house quite a bit, play soccer with them. Or I don't know if you could call it soccer, but we kick a soccer ball around a little bit, look for bugs. We do stuff little boys like to do. So that's about it.
Nice.
Yeah. In today's conversation, both of our characters are talking about what to do on the weekend, and we're going to talk about how to use could. So let's take a look at today's conversation.
Do you want to hang out this weekend?
Sure. What do you want to do?
I don't know. You have any ideas?
We could catch a baseball game.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
And if you're up for it, we could try Fugu.
Put me down as a maybe.
Okay. So let's go ahead and break down that conversation we just listened to. So the first line here, we had Tuan saying,
Do you want to hang out this weekend?
Do you want to hang out this weekend? So hang out is, I don't think, taught enough to people learning English, but I use it all the time with my friends. So this just means, do you want to spend time together this weekend? So hang out with someone just means spend time together. So you can hang out with your friends, you can hang out with your parents, you can hang out by yourself technically. If you're just at home watching TV and your friend called and asked what you were doing, you could say, I'm just hanging out. But basically just means spending time. So how about when you're hanging out with your wife in the evenings, what do you do, Tuan?
Drink, talk.
Drink.
Yeah.
Drink and talk. Yeah. Sure. So again, that's a very important one. Hang out. I can't express that much. We use that a lot. So hanging out with your friends. So the next line, sure, what do you want to do? This just means, yes, what should we do? So you can see in the pictures here, maybe some darts, video games, bowling, beer, that type of thing. Just hanging out, doing something together. Next line. This is actually yours, Tuan.
I don't know. You have any ideas?
Right, so I don't have any good ideas. How about you? So notice here, you have any good ideas. This means, do you have any good ideas? But in conversation, we occasionally leave off the do and maybe just have rising intonation on there. So you have any ideas? Right, we could say just with rising intonation. And then the next line here. We could catch a baseball game. So there's a couple points to talk about here. So we could, this just means one option is to watch a baseball game. So we use could in this case actually for the future. Now, most people know could as the past tense of can. And if you watch the video that we put out yesterday, you will understand when you can use could and when you can use was able to. And the reason that's important is because we often use could to talk about the present or the future as well. So we have to be careful about when to use could. So in this case, we could catch a baseball game this weekend, which is in the future. And it just means one option is to watch a baseball game. Okay. The second point here is we use catch a baseball game. Now, we know you can catch a ball, of course, but we often use catch to watch something. So we can catch a baseball game, catch a movie. Anything else, Tuan?
Catch, yeah. The theater, I don't know. Catch something, yeah. You go
put you on the spot there. I gave all the good examples and then asked you for one. Catch some kind of sporting event. Of course, there's other things we can catch, like catch a bus or catch a train. Just means to ride a bus or ride a train. You can catch a cold, or right now, of course, people are catching COVID-19. You can catch an illness, something like that. But yeah, those 2 points. The next line we have.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Yeah, that sounds fun. So yeah, that's a good idea. Do you really think watching a baseball game sounds fun, Tuan?
In Japan, I think is a little fun.
Right. A lot of people think baseball is boring. I can kind of understand it if you don't know what's happening. Baseball can be very boring. But to me, like going to a baseball game isn't always about watching the game. It's about just sitting and relaxing and having some drinks, having some extremely unhealthy food. That's what going to a baseball game is to me. It's just an experience. The game is also happening, but of course, you don't have to care too much about it because you've got some good drinks, some good food, some good company, hopefully. So, but yeah, baseball games in Japan are very different than baseball games in the States. Japanese fans are very energetic and very supportive. In the States, not so much.
I think there's more entertainment in the States. There's like little games that they play in between.
Yep. Lots of stuff going on. Okay, and the next line here. And if you're up for it, we could try Fugu. So this means, if you're up for it means if you are interested. So if you're interested eating fugu is another option. Again, we could try fugu. That is another option, another thing we can do. And again, this could is to talk about the future. It's an option for this weekend, which is in the future. Okay. And the last line is?
Put me down as maybe.
Put me down as maybe, right? So basically in this situation means I don't think so. You can tell by the picture here, Tuan is not actually interested in eating fugu, which in English, fugu is puffer fish. Is that right? Puffer fish.
Yes. Yeah.
But I think even as a food, I think many people would still call it fugu, even though that's the Japanese word for that fish. And of course, this fish is poisonous, toxic, I guess. If someone prepares it the wrong way, you could die eating it, right? You need a special license to serve fugu. Have you ever had it here, Tuan?
Yeah, I've had it once.
What did you think?
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Didn't like it. Yeah, I've only had it once as well. It's fairly expensive depending on the restaurant. I didn't mind it. I thought it was okay. It's not something I would want to eat all the time. And I don't think many people do eat it all that often because it's so expensive, but it was okay. How did you eat it? Did you have sashimi, like raw, really thin sliced cuts?
Yeah, like the picture.
Yeah.
Very
it's like
thin, raw slices. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really, of course, the puffer fish puffs up. So the skin is very stretchy. So they have to cut it really thinly just so you can eat it, just so you can chew it. There's other parts we had. I think we had it in like a hot pot as well. And then it just tasted kind of like a white fish. It didn't taste anything super special. It was okay. It was more for the experience, not really for the food itself. So it was okay. But yeah, here Tuan said, put me down as a maybe. Sometimes this means maybe. If you say put me down as maybe, it could mean maybe. But in this case, Tuan says, put me down as maybe. In that case, it's I don't think so or a no. Okay. So let's get into today's grammar point, and that was could for current or future possibilities. So we had these two examples. We could catch a baseball game, and if you're up for it, we could try fugu. So again, right now is when Tuan and I are talking, and then the weekend, of course, is in the future. So we're using could for the future, and these are just future possibilities, or I like to think of them, as I said before, as an option for the future, right? It's just one option, one thing you can do in the future, and we often use could to say this. And sort of like a suggestion, as we'll see in our next example. So let's take a look there. So we have this guy here. You can tell it's got a little bit of extra weight around the middle. Sometimes in English, or at least in America, we call this a spare tire. Have you heard that before?
Yeah, I've heard that.
Same expression, yeah. So a little bit of extra weight in the middle. So he says, I need to lose some weight. So we can use could to sort of give some suggestions or some options for this nice guy here who looks a little bit like me with hair right now. I'm getting a little bit fat I'm getting a little bit of a spare tire myself. So Tuan, what's a suggestion we could give, an option for this guy to lose some weight? You could
join a gym.
Right. You could join a gym. Good example, although many gyms are closed right now. So what's another one?
You could go on a diet.
Could go on a diet, right? Notice we say you could go on. We use go on as a verb for a diet. Go on a diet, okay? Anything else?
You could take up a sport or start a sport.
Right, right. You could take up a sport. Let's use take up, because I believe we've used that in one of our phrasal verb videos in before. So take up means to start a new hobby. So if you're interested, we do have a phrasal verb video on take up. Is it just take up or maybe take?
Maybe
Can't
take.
remember. It's been a while, yeah. But take up means to start something new, like a new hobby. Is that okay? So again, all of these are just options, and in this case, suggestions of how someone can do something. So I need to lose some weight. Oh, you could join a gym. You could go on a diet. You could take up a sport. And again, these mean from now or in the future, these are options. So we're using could for the future. Okay. And let's go to our next example. Many people thinking this one here. I want to improve my English. How about that one? There we go. So I want to improve my English. Tuan, do you have any advice here?
You could go on the Udemy or Skillshare course.
Right. You could use the Udemy course, right? Of course, we have to advertise our Udemy course. So that's one. What's another option here? You could
watch a movie with subtitles.
Watch a movie with, run out of room here. Subtitles, right. Okay. Any other ideas?
You could change the language on your phone and computer to English.
Right. You could change the language on your phone to English. Okay. And then
the phone. Yeah, you can use like Siri. I don't know. You can talk in English.
I'll talk to Siri on your phone as well.
Yeah, it's good practice for pronunciation to see if what you say, if Siri can understand what you're saying.
Right. You could practice your pronunciation with Siri. Something like that. This guy's getting in the way. Yeah, of course, there's many different ways. You could get a language exchange partner. So someone who wants to speak your native language or a language that you can speak and they speak English, you can exchange languages. So that's a good one. I know I used that a lot when I was studying Japanese. It's got many benefits to it. So many ways to improve English. Of course, you can ask us questions on Facebook. I'm a little shocked, to be honest, that you have if you're watching this video, you have two English teachers, two people who have been teaching for quite a few years now, available to ask questions, but not many people do. So please go ahead and feel free to ask us questions on Facebook or YouTube when you do have them. Okay. And let's go one more. So we have here, I need to get my wife a birthday present. Last one.
Do you have any ideas?
Okay, this is actually a perfect picture of Tuan's beautiful wife right there. So I would say you could get her a nice scarf. Maybe this season's starting to get a little cold here in Japan, so maybe something like a nice scarf would be good. Okay. I don't know. I haven't talked to your wife in a while. What does she need?
She likes wine.
Right. I was going to say that was going to be my next one. You could get her a nice bottle of wine. Okay. Do you have any ideas? Her birthday isn't coming up soon, is it?
Not for a while.
Yeah. Okay.
You could treat her to a spa.
Oh, right. Right. Treat her to a spa. So get her an appointment, take her to get pampered, as we say, to get taken care of at a spa. Many different things to do. Yeah. So again, with all these, these are all for the future again. So often can be used for past tense, but these are for the future. Could for the future. These are all options, things that are possible to do here. That makes sense? So if you have any questions about this, please let us know in the comments. We are more than happy to help you. And I believe that does it for the most part today. Don't forget about YouTube channels. Please subscribe there. Our Facebook page, Acquire English, and Udemy and Skillshare, Acquire English. And just don't forget to keep practicing your English. Okay. Anything else to add today, Tuan?
Yeah, today's lesson is not so easy, so don't be too discouraged as usual. But yeah, it's a higher level of using could.
Right.
So just be aware of that.
I think we looked at, did we say it was kind of a B1 level?
Yeah, for suggestions or in the future. Yeah, it's a B1.
Right. So I'm kind of torn a little bit on the leveling of some of these, because this is a B1 level. It's a more difficult one, but I feel like it's something that if you work at a little bit, you can use it. Most lower level people can probably get a hang of it. It's similar to should, right? When we use should, we're saying it's a good thing to do, right? You should do this, you should do this, right? If we're saying you could, we're just saying, oh, this is one option, right? I'm not really giving my advice. I'm just saying this is one thing you could do. This is possible. Whereas should, you're saying this is what I think the best thing to do is, or a good thing to do is, right? But again, if you have any questions on that, please let us know. And if not, we will see you next time. Thanks again for watching. Bye.